Jordan Walker edges out Kyle Schwarber in the home run derby in Kyle Schwarber's home field, which I thought was kind of crazy. I hated that. I didn't watch it all, but I saw the next day, and I hated it because it's a Cardinal edging out a former Cub and one of the best dudes out there, right? But
100%.
anyway, and the NL got smoked 4-0 in the what ended up really being a boring game.
Yeah,
I
it was
unfortunately did
pathetic.
watch the majority of that, and that sucked. I wasn't planning on it. I wanted to watch the beginning to see Pete get introduced and then come back to it because I knew he wouldn't play until like the fourth, fifth inning at the earliest, right?
Yeah, he
And
didn't even get in until the 8th, I think.
no, he was in the fifth or
7th?
sixth, but he did not bat until the eighth.
Until then. Okay.
So they play defense too, man.
Yeah, I know.
But they didn't get around to like him in the order until
then.
late. Yeah, because
Yeah, their
I think
hitting
he
was
hit 9.
terrible.
It was 8th or 9th where in his spot, and they only had 3 hits. Pete having one of them though.
Right.
So
Yep.
He's Matt Butler. I'm David Butler, and this is Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a 5-star review on YouTube and or any audio platform. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy, or on Twitter at dbutler79 and at Born into the Ivy. The Cubs, 54-42, 12 games over 500, 5 back in the Central, and own the top spot currently in the wild card standings by half a game over the Phillies. They also own any tiebreaker with the Phillies. They went 6-1, I think, against the Phillies. So, like
they're done now, right?
With the Cubs and Phils?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
play in the second
half. No
half.
more games for them. No.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So the Cubs got him at the right time because the Phillies are rolling. Don Mattingly has got that team going in the right direction. Like that's a very good team. I would give them the edge right now. As the rosters are currently right now, their pitching is far superior. But I think our lineup is far superior.
Right.
Well.
I don't think you have to stretch too far to find
a team with far superior pitching. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Agreed. I will say this though. I think that the pitchers that we have on the current roster, even the bullpen guys, because I'm going to complain about the bullpen here soon.
Yeah.
Are doing the damnedest that they can right now. The absolute damnedest.
It's a small miracle we are where we are.
100%. So
because of the pitching.
Finished since I think June 11th, they finished the first half at 20-8. Best record in the majors.
Yep.
So they started the season with the best record in the majors. Had the worst record in the majors in the middle.
Yep.
7-22, and now are 20-8. I'm tired of the roller coaster, but I'm glad that the roller coaster has been up better than down.
Right, overall.
100,
yeah.
Like
100%.
We've had 2 ups and 1
down. But it got dark there for a minute.
Really big down though.
Yeah.
And it made it worse dark because before that we were like the best team in the majors.
Sure.
And so that made the 7-22 swoon that much more aggravating and that much more mind-boggling.
Ugly.
Yeah. It was ugly. The offense was absolutely atrocious.
Yep.
So
well, and that's the thing right now. You know, your pitching staff's banged up beyond belief.
100%.
Right. I mean, to a point where, you know, how often does something like that happen to a pitching staff? To this point, to this gratitude, to this the longevity of the injuries.
Yeah. Tate Horton's out. Justice Steele, we thought was going to be back by now or around now at the latest.
Right.
He's not starting a program until August. Again, because of his hiccup.
Valencia.
Well,
then you have Ben Brown.
I'm just talking about starters.
Oh, well, yeah. Then you have Ben Brown that comes into that role.
Yeah.
And is completely just eating it up. And then, you know, now he's gone.
Now, did you see that Council said that they do think he will pitch again this year?
Oh, really?
But they
Okay.
also believe, this is the hiccup to me, they believe that the injury is caused by his pitching mechanics.
Yeah.
And so the dude's got to, like, and we're not talking about just a minor injury. Like, this is a severe injury, right? In the neck. It's
Right.
basically a neck break or a fracture of some
Right.
sort. So
He's got to reinvent himself
yeah,
in a manner.
so
which
we think that's
you
going to
can't
happen.
expect to. Yeah, it can happen, but it's not going to be. If he reinvents himself, it's not going to be something that he comes back from, from that injury and all's good. Like, I got my new mechanics. I'm throwing the same nasty shit that I was before or
Exactly.
stuff.
I
Right.
think it can happen and use those pitches for the beginning of next year. My concern is as he look, because I'm sure that they've already started kind of working on what to do.
Sure.
Well, I know they have because they said that he's throwing as he can tolerate it, basically.
Okay.
So I'm sure that they have started to revamp some of those mechanics already. But how comfortable is he going to be able to pitch the same
Right.
effectiveness
So
in
then you look at
September
it.
and or August?
Sure. Then you look at it and, like, do you just shelve it for the year?
Yeah, my guess is they don't. One, I think Ben is very optimistic about it, and that makes a huge difference, right? When the
Yeah.
player is 100% on board with something, it makes the transitions easier.
Sure.
And I think that Ben finally found that success, and he doesn't want to let that go. And I don't blame him.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's so young, though.
But here's I don't want Cub fans. Like, this is my biggest concern with it. Is stupid ass Cub fans at times. I love y'all, but sometimes we're idiots. Are going to see maybe a little bit of regression or struggle at first,
Yep.
and then start booing this guy again. And oh man, Ben Brown's back to sucking. Blah blah
Yep.
blah. Instead of understanding how hard it is to do what this man is about to try and do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not having any
Well, yeah,
tolerance
that's
for
why
that.
we just talked about, shelving it for the year,
Right.
for that reason. Because there's going to be hiccups.
But
Us thinking Justin Steele coming back and being just like he was at first is just as daunting.
Yes.
As that.
100%. It's been one of the weirdest seasons in recent memory. And again, a reminder that this is the Cubs' 150th year of existence as a team and a ball club. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think probably one of the weirdest seasons ever in those 150 years.
Sure.
Crazy. Absolutely.
At least since we've been alive, right?
Absolutely. Oh, 100%.
Go Cubs, go!
I'm getting old, so.
I think it's weird.
What?
I think it's we're getting old.
Well, yeah. You look older than me, and that's hilarious to me.
That's just because I have fucking gray hair. But you're losing yours. It counts. Grow yours out.
I'm not going to roll mine out.
Well, yeah, the hell no. I wouldn't either if I had your hair.
I mean, I've got hair. People think I am bald without it. I'm not. But it's thin. It's definitely thin. And at some point, it's probably not going to be there as much. So
yeah, you think?
So, but this is like I'm hot all the time. I love this.
Yeah,
because it does help with not being as hot.
Sure,
it does. However, I used to love wearing ball caps, and they irritate me now with the bald head. Yeah, that's the one thing I really hate about it, because I miss wearing ball caps.
I don't.
They're not as comfortable when they're backwards, but I think I look like a moron that way. So, even more than I already do.
That's fair.
The next 16 games will be absolutely huge leading up to the trade deadline on August 3rd. The Cubs will have 3 against Minnesota, 3 against Detroit, 2 teams that they possibly could want to trade with. So winning at least 2 out of 3 is kind of a prerequisite if you're wanting to force
Right.
them down. You know what I mean?
Yep.
At the very least, 2 out of 3. Sweeping them would
Sure.
be huge for things.
And it's something that we're capable of.
100%. But so I was looking at Minnesota stats today. I'm not going to completely preview Minnesota today because they still don't have probable starters. Okay, hey, yeah, they do not. They don't have probable starters yet for both teams, so I'm going to do a quick thing tomorrow for that. But we could still preview it just a tad bit and see what your thoughts going into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But where was I? I'm sorry. So 3 against Detroit, 3 against Pittsburgh, 4 against St. Louis. Pittsburgh and St. Louis are huge because it's division opponents, and
Yep.
those are all on the road. And then they come back for 3 against the Yankees.
That's going to be a good series.
That should be a really good series. Yes.
Yeah.
And I no longer have anybody on the Yankees that I like as a player because Rizzo's not there anymore. And
sure.
I hate the Yankees. I always have, and I hated that Rizzo was there. It was good for him. Like, I think he enjoyed his time listening to him about it. By the way, that man, have you listened to him on Sunday Night Baseball or on Netflix during Home Run Derby and stuff? He's fantastic with that stuff.
Yeah.
The dude is fantastic. He
I saw a little clip with him today.
With Bob the Bear Bounce?
Yep.
Yeah. Wasn't that great?
Yep. Told his ass out.
Yes, he did. What jumps out to you, Matt, about this season so far?
Honestly, the grit of the pitching staff.
I would argue the team in general, but I understand what you mean because of
right.
I'm going to knock on wood before I say this. Minimal injuries to the position players so far.
Right.
Outside of Matt Shaw. And early on with Seiya. But
yeah, and Swanson had a little stint, but it was short, right?
Swanson really wasn't, he never had an injury stint. They sat him for a little bit because of his position, the way he was playing.
No, it was Nico I'm thinking of.
No?
I'm telling you, one of those two were out for like 2 or 3 games. It was Nico.
Okay.
Go back and look.
He might have had something minor. Oh, yeah, because when he got hit.
It was minor.
When he got hit. In San Diego.
I don't remember the context behind it.
I know what you're talking about. It was when he got hit in San Diego.
Yeah. It was minor.
And he hasn't been the same since.
Right.
Offensively.
Obviously, Seiya had his thing at the beginning of the year during the WBC.
But besides that, like the 8 position players, and I'm counting Amaya and Kelly together, it's been pretty solidified.
Right.
And so it's second straight year, like that's awesome. But the pitching staff has more than made up for that.
Yeah. I mean, with the hand they've been dealt with, I think the pitching staff has
overproduced.
Yeah, that's not the word I was looking for, but I mean that's good enough. Overachieved. Yes, thank you.
I was trying to think of it too, and it produces them in my head, and I knew that wasn't right either. But let me tell you these. So I've got some. I'm going to go over the position players a little bit, and then we're going to talk about the bullpen and starters, and then I have another question. So the players with the most runners left on base in Major League Baseball this year, 6 of them, of the top 28, are Cubs. I'm going to preface all this before I start get into what I want to get into. The Cubs team left on base, the Cubs as a team have the 4th highest on base percentage. So it would stand to reason that they're going to have a lot of players left on base. Right. That makes sense. And I do agree with that. And I understand that. The 3 teams ahead of them are Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, and the Dodgers.
Oh, Lord.
They all have a better on-base percentage, but not by tons, right?
Yeah.
None of those 3 teams have anybody in the top 10. The Chicago Cubs have 4. Happ is number 1 at 198. Bregman is number 2 at 197. Bush is number 6 at 177, and Seiya is tied in 8th with 3 other guys, so 8th/10th with
Yeah.
173.
Okay.
Nico is 19th at 164. Again, none of the other 3 teams have anybody ahead of Nico. And Dansby is 25th/28th, tied with 4 guys at 158. We
Okay.
have 6 in the top 28. The Dodgers have 3 players in that top 28 as well. The Brewers have nobody. Their top guy is 29th, William Contreras.
Okay.
And the Pirates' top guy is Brandon Lau in 31st.
Wow.
So, yes, I agree that it stands to reason that we would have a lot of players left on base. But my thing is that it's the same guys doing it. Pete is nowhere to be found on the 101 top players that I've looked at. Nowhere. And neither is Carson Kelly or Miguel Amaya. However, if you combine them, I don't know because I couldn't find them on it. It just went to the 101 that I looked at. So it's possible that they might be in that. However, those guys are also some of the best hitters on the team with runners in scoring position. So because of that, I'm inclined to think that they are not in that top 101. But that's just me speculating. Amaya is 4th on the team with a 314 batting average. Carson Kelly is 5th with a 299 batting average with runners in scoring position. Consequently, the only one of those guys.
Amaya's hitting 314 with runners in scoring position.
Yep.
That's impressive.
He only has 46 at-bats in that span. But together, the catchers are hitting over 300 and 123 plate appearances.
Okay.
They have 25 hits in that span and 35 RBIs. 38 RBIs. 31 hits. I'm sorry. So, of the 6 guys that I just said, Michael Busch is the only one who's hitting above 210 with runners in scoring position. He is hitting 276 with 125 plate appearances, 27 hits, 37 RBIs, with a strikeout rate of 17.6. The others, Dansby is leading the other 5 at 209 average, Nico at 206, Bregman just got up to 200, Seiya 198, and Ian Happ is the worst team on the club that is still on the club because Carlson and Kingery didn't have any hits. Happ 168 batting average with runners in scoring position.
Runners in scoring position,
He has 122 plate appearances. The only 2 with more plate appearances in said instance on the team is Bregman and Busch.
Okay.
That's it. Ian Happ is a problem, and he has been for a while.
Yeah, we talked about that already.
I know I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm telling you, he is a problem. And I'm ready for him to be done after this year.
Sure. I hate it.
I hate to openly say in the middle of a good season that I don't want a player to come back.
Right.
But I don't. He's so streaky. He's so streaky.
I don't disagree with you.
And when he gets his numbers, more times than not, and by a long shot, and I think these numbers back this up, he does it in instances that don't matter nearly as much.
Right.
Bregman's starting to come on. Seiya's starting to come on. Some. Seiya is really streaky too. Like, there's no denying that.
Right.
So here's the problem with what I just said. If you look at the upcoming free agency list, Ian Happ and Seiya Suzuki are 2 of the best outfielders going on in the free agency.
Yeah.
And so you got to replace them internally.
Well, you know who we pick or keep.
Or via trade.
Or should. Huh?
Or via trade.
Right.
Who are
But
you going to say?
Seiya, you got to keep Seiya if you're going to keep one of them.
Yes, I agree, but I wouldn't be upset either way. Put it that way.
Yeah,
I'm not opposed to keeping Seiya, depending on the contract, but I think Seiya is going to command a $200 million contract. Or at least like 35 million a year.
yeah,
And I'm not okay with paying him that.
yeah. I'm not either.
I would rather, and I know this is a pipe dream, I would rather go after Tark Skubal.
Who?
Tark Skubal.
Oh,
And I think he's going to be 500 million or more contract.
yeah,
And I don't think that's going to happen. Like I said, I think that's a pipe dream for me, but that's who I would rather them get. So I thought all
sure.
those numbers were curious. Obviously, like those teams are still leaving a lot on base because they are in the top or bottom 4 of runners left on base with the Cubs. The Cubs
Yeah.
are last. They are the other 3 in the bottom 4. But there's not any particular guys who are atrocious at it on those teams. And that
Right.
aren't coming through when they need to.
Yeah, it shows the ebbs and lows of the roster.
Bregman's been a huge disappointment until the last 2 weeks. Maybe we can
Right.
Yeah. I mean, huge, right? And we'll talk more about that here soon. But I have more hopes for him than I do Hap or Newcomb,
absolutely.
frankly.
I mean, there's, well, we'll talk about it when we talk about it again.
Yeah. In the bullpen, as it currently stands, we got Jacob Webb, Ryan Rollison, Trent Thornton, Caleb Thielbar, Tyler Ferguson, Gavin Hollowell, Drew Pomeranz, and Phil Maton. And I put those in a particular order of who I am most confident at the top, least confident at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I think you can make an argument with Ferguson and Hollowell to switch them even. But I do like Caleb
Yeah, because I
Thielbar.
do like Ferguson.
I like Ferguson a lot. That's a guy they got from the A's.
Right.
Bullpen guys who are going to be expected back at some point this year. Daniel Palencia, not sure yet, but it looks like they're going to have a timeline very soon, right?
Okay.
Ben Brown, that's to be determined. Justin Steele is going to start a throwing program in August. They think he will be able to pitch at some point in short bursts, right? So he's not going to come back as a starter this year. That's
so in the pen.
Already been, yeah. Brown, Steele coming back in the pen, if they can be right, would be absolutely gigantic for the bullpen.
Right. Yep.
Ethan Roberts, expected back, to be determined, though no timeline specific yet, right?
Yep.
I'm kind of excited for that. Hunter Harvey, I don't know. I think the jury is still out. I'm not, until we get more concrete, I'm not going to worry too much about him. But it's still worth putting in there. Riley Martin, a possible August return. He's the only guy with a kind of concrete timeline, except also he'll be Milner. Milner was expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks. 4 weeks would be the end of July, 6 weeks mid-August after his appendectomy. And the way that guy was pitching, if he comes back and is any kind of semblance of that, that's awesome. And it will be a huge trade deadline addition, right?
Right.
Palencia, maybe one. This is what I think we can count on. Palencia, Milner, Brown, or Steele.
Yeah.
Riley Martin would be huge, but there's no guarantee he's going to be what he had started to be because he's like, this was his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
But high hopes that he is. But I just don't think it's smart to count on it. So having said that, if we can get 3 of those guys back, hopefully Palencia is one of them. I don't know who you take out. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to come out the roster when Tyone comes back, and he's about to be back after this break. I don't know when that'll be. You know what I mean? Let me see. Ray, it looks like it's going to start Friday. Minnesota doesn't have it announced. Boyd on Saturday. That's who I thought might start on Friday, but I'm not shocked. And Imanaga on Sunday.
Okay.
So they
But
don't have to make a decision until the Detroit series as to who
right.
comes off the roster. And for Tyone stays on the IL until it's his turn to pitch, right?
Yeah.
I think Ray pitching gives them flexibility at first, gives them some flexibility about he or Assad. I wouldn't be shocked if Assad goes back to AAA. Not
No.
because he's not done what he needs to, but because he's the one out of the six that has options. Tyone also has options,
Okay.
actually, but I don't see that happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Obviously we got Boyd, Imanaga, Peterson, Assad, Ray, and Tyone. All as possible. I've seen lots of people talking about that they think doing a 6-man rotation wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't disagree, but I don't want to send any of those guys off the bullpen guys off the roster until one of the other bullpen guys comes back.
Right.
Did you disagree?
No. I mean, I don't yeah, I do a little bit because boys look good, right?
Boyd has looked good.
Um,
Shota's
I
been
don't know.
decent. Shota in his last start pitched well enough to win that game.
Right. So to me, looking at it, if you implement a 6-man rotation with, and I'm just gonna say it, with mediocre
6 mediocre
on the bottom half,
Yeah.
yeah, like your top
Boyd is
two,
the ace,
right?
and that's not like I
And then
love Matthew
Shota,
Boyd. I love
yeah,
Matthew
and then
Boyd,
Shota,
but yeah,
right? Those two guys are. That's your 3-4, or I mean 4-5.
on a true World Series contender, they
Right.
should be 3-4 at the
4-5.
best, if not
Yep.
4-5. Yes,
Yep. So
but there's no way that they're going to be our 4-5 at this point. Like they need to be our 3-4.
no, absolutely, they're where
At
they are.
best, they get
They have
two
to
really
be.
good starters at best.
Yep. Yep. So stretching, a 6-man rotation, I think you're putting a lot of weight on a fucking offense that has shown it's not consistent.
Correct. Well,
And it's hard to be consistent on offense, right?
I mean, there's going to be ebbs and flows in any 162 games.
Yeah.
I would argue that they have been consistent. They've actually been very consistent. They were consistently very good, consistently terrible, and now consistently good again.
Well, that's fair, but you know what I mean.
I do, but I think we don't. It's hard to trust because we've seen this offense go into so many funks over the years,
Right.
with the same coaches and stuff,
Right.
and so it's hard to trust. And I think that's ultimately what you mean.
Well, and I think I know I've been vocal at least once on this about the coaching staff.
So I'm going to say this because I think that overall, outside of the hitting issues, actually, I'm just going to give the one man praise. I think Craig Counsell has done an incredible job this year.
Oh yeah, with what yeah. No,
Craig
I can't
Counsell
disagree with that.
should be in consideration for manager of the year right now.
Yep.
This is by far the best job he's done since he's been in Chicago. And it's not even close.
I'll agree that. Yeah.
Craig Counsell is pushing the right buttons most of the time. I get so frustrated with the bullpen lately. I've gotten frustrated with the starters, but you got to stop and remember, this is not the team that you thought it was going to be.
Right.
And what Craig Counsell has done with this team has been fantastic.
Sure. Yep. I agree with that.
Absolutely fantastic. Trade targets. I'm going to share some trade targets with you that I really want them to go after. But I want you to tell me first what 2 or 3 guys that you can think of that you would love to see, like in a perfect world. Don't worry about what the prospects would cost. Just who what kind of guys you think they should go after. Should they go after an offensive player and make that better?
Nope.
Should they go after bullpen? Should they go after starter? Some kind of combination? What do you think?
Starter.
First and foremost?
Yep. And not even after everybody else comes back. It needs to be a starter.
Like,
with everybody coming back.
what do you like? What
April.
kind of starter are you talking about?
Paul Skeens.
Well, he's not available.
I'm talking about that
No.
level.
Okay. So, is there a guy that's available like that? Besides maybe Tark Skubal? And I think that's still a maybe.
Yeah. And the answer's no. More than likely, right? But
unfortunately, I think I think that it is.
So I'm at the point where you don't go big splash in free agency, or I mean at the trade deadline.
But you
don't
to.
do it. No, you don't have to.
There is no way the team as it is, even with some of the guys coming back, can win the World Series. I don't think. Not with the pitching staff.
And I don't disagree with that. But I feel like with everything that has happened, right? Because the things have to fall into place for the bullpen too.
Great. I think that there's a bigger chance of getting enough pieces back as the roster is right now for the bullpen, though.
Right.
As long as Palencia can come back and Milner can come back.
So what I'm saying is that I don't think necessarily that we need to have our eye on the World Series this year.
I disagree. I'm not saying it's not going to be a tall task. I'm not saying it's not going to be a tall task. I think we should still go all in for it. Unless they falter in this next 4 or 5 series.
Okay, so what would you do?
So these are the options that I have. Oh, crap. I've got to share my screen. Sorry. So for starters, I think they should go after 2 of these 5. Freddie Peralta, Jose Soriano from the Angels, Kodai Senga with the Mets. And I think a lot of people are going to listen to this and be like, what the hell is your problem? That dude sucks right now. And they're not wrong. Logan Webb, who Giants have said they are not willing to trade, but I think in the right offer could get him. And Reed Detmers of the Angels. I would love for Peralta or Webb to be one of the 2. Because that becomes like the ace, right? Guys with that kind of stuff. Freddie Peralta, I think, hates New York, and I think learned he does not want to go to a major outlet unless he's not the man. So him going to LA after this year, I think is a possibility because he's not going to be the man.
Right.
But he can still get paid, right? And still be in a big market. Plus, LA, of all the big markets, LA and Chicago are way more laid back than like Philly or New York. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he learned he doesn't want to be in New York. He's not. I would be shocked if he re-signs with the Mets, if he goes to the Yankees, if he goes to Philly, any of that. He doesn't want that negative crap. I think Chicago, the Cubs, would make a little bit of sense for him because he's got good familiarity and a good relationship with Craig Counsell. Kodai Senga, this is my argument for him. He's not going to be worse. He's also not starting with New York. There's no way, and maybe I'm jinxing myself here, but there's no way this guy's going to be worse. I think there's a great chance he's going to be far better. His career low ground ball percentage before this year was in the 40s, like low 40s, right? It's 30.2 right now. His strikeout rate's still high. His FIP is far better than his actual ERA, although it's still not good. Fielding independent pitching, which takes out he is behind. What is behind he and Freddie Peralta right now is a terrible, terrible defense. And I mean terrible, man.
Yeah.
And I think it will help anybody to have the Cubs defense behind them. Jose Soriano is a ground
Well,
ball
yeah, how could it
machine.
not?
I would love to see, but Soriano is probably going to cost more than you think because he's under control through like 2028 or 2029.
Okay,
So that's the drawback of him.
sure.
But I think you're going to have to give up a good amount. So if you're going to do that, go after Freddie Peralta and Kodai Senga. Why not just make it a package deal? Get Peralta, Senga, and AJ Minter and trade a bunch of prospects. And I think that people are going to forget Ballesteros is no longer considered a prospect, but would be a huge get. And I'm not saying trade Ballesteros. I'm just saying, besides what we have in our top 10 prospect or top 30, we also have Ballesteros, Alcantara, Pedro Ramirez, and Matt Shaw.
Right.
To get all three of them, we're going to have to trade some, probably like a guy like Matt Shaw or Pedro Ramirez, something like that. Alcantara, I mean, hopefully the Mets will buy into Alcantara's good because he's not. I've decided I don't think Kevin Alcantara
Not a
is
fan.
what I want him to be.
Yeah.
He's just not. He's got that talent, but I don't think he's got it in him mentally. He's not bought in all the time.
Sure.
And he's a kid, and he acts like a kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
He doesn't act like a professional ball player. And stays focused on what he's supposed to do at the time when he's supposed to do it.
Right.
But I feel bad saying but it is what it is, right? And my thoughts are what they are. But I love the idea of getting Peralta, Senga, and a guy like AJ Minter or Brooks Raley, but I would prefer to get Minter if I had my druthers from them, and that fills 3 huge holes for this pitching staff, and it knocks the other guys down 2 pegs into starters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And gives us, if we've got Freddie Peralta, Kodai Senga, who I think both are going to pitch better than what they did in the first half, and I firmly believe that. And especially if we can get them with some of the pitching guys that we got, that puts Boyd and Imanaga at 3 and 4, and then Peterson, Assad, Tyone, I don't care which one, as the 5. I
Right.
really, I think I actually prefer Peterson of them, and Ray goes back to the bullpen. But I'm good with Ray being the freaking 5th guy, for that matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Any of them would be fine as a 5 to me.
Sure.
Shota doesn't pitch in a playoff series until the division series at that point.
Yeah.
I also think it's still possible, a tall task, I'm not disagreeing with this, to win the division. I think that's entirely possible.
Oh, I agree.
A tall task, but one that the team is up to, and they got to take advantage of the pitching injuries that Milwaukee is now having as well.
Right.
Brandon Woodruff is probably not coming back this year. At the best, he doesn't come back till September. I mean, I hate to have injuries, but we got to take advantage of them when they're there. Kyle Harrison,
sure.
The jury's still out as to how long he might be out. It could be minimal. It could not be. You know what I mean? Like it's going to,
Yep.
We'll see how he responds. And then they're worried about Mizorowski's workload, as they should be. He has 31 innings from his innings pitched last year, which was also a career high and as a professional for him.
Oh, and good Lord.
That includes the playoffs for him.
Okay.
31 innings. That's it. So,
yep.
I mean, I can't stand that dude. But the last thing I want to see is him get hurt too. Because I don't want to wish for that for anybody. Well, very few people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
There's one other guy that I really, really like for a bullpen arm. He's with the Angels right now. Kirby Yates, 39 years old. He has a 3.00 ERA, 2.96 FIP. and a 32.6% strikeout rate. This is the kind of bullpen arm the Cubs really need to pair with Daniel Palencia.
Sure.
Minter, I really like him. 23.4 strikeout rate. Rayleigh is 24.3. Both of them would strike a lot of guys out. I don't disagree. But Kirby
Well,
Yates is kind of proving late inning guy that you want.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bud.
No. I mean, we've talked about that before. It was before Ben Brown became, started filling in as starter.
You didn't want to because you
No,
wanted
I
that.
did want him to. Oh, right. Yeah, I wanted him to be the setup dude.
Yes.
Right. So, and if he comes back and can only, come out of the bullpen, I'm not saying put him in the setup role right away, obviously, but if he can figure it out a little bit, like that, with him and Palencia, man, I mean, that duo. Good luck.
I don't disagree. I'm also not 100% convinced that Steele and or Brown are going to be in the bullpen this year. I hope they are, but I don't think we can say, yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen.
Right.
I trust Trent Thornton. I trust Ryan Rollison, even though Rollison's had a bit of a hiccup recently. I trust Jacob Webb.
I was going to say, I don't dislike Webb in that role.
No, those three guys. But we need to have at least 5 or 6 guys in high that can be high leverage.
Right.
If we're going to be a serious playoff contender. And those three, if you put them with Palencia, and then surely Ferguson or Maton or Hollowell or Brown or Steele or Martin, Hobie Milner, any of those guys can come in and be that 4th, 5th guy. And then you add Kirby Yates. Now we got 6 deep that are trustworthy. Sure. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm going to feel a ton better with that bullpen being what they are then.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm telling you, one-stop shop on this. I don't normally like one-stop shop crap. But those 3 guys, and I don't think, well, and then if you can add Kirby Yates, if you don't want to add in the relief pitcher because you want to get a guy like Kirby Yates, more power to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't think any of them are going to cost a ton. Peralta's got a ton of talent. I get it. But they want off the hook for Senga. He has another $15 million next year. Cubs could use that. Another more starting pitching. $15 million ain't a ton. But they're so far above the luxury tax, they want out of that. And I can understand that. And I think that he's the kind of guy, if you're buying low or pairing with Peralta to help get Peralta at maybe a bit of a cheaper price, it's 100% worth it.
Yeah.
And I think that he could be. Now, do I think Senga is going to step in and be the 2 right away? No. Do I think Matthew Boyd is capable of filling in there? Yes. You know what I mean? Or So if you want to do righty, lefty, Peralta, Boyd, Senga, Shota. That's a hell of a. I think that's a good rotation. It's not what we really want, but it's a good rotation. This is where I'm gonna stop, and then we'll go to our awards real quick. Okay.
Okay.
Quick question: Mason Miller, best relief pitcher in the game, right?
Yeah.
Right now, Tar Skubal, one of the best starting pitchers in the game. If we could trade for one or the other, which one? And remember, Skubal is a free agent. Miller's under control for another year or 2.
Miller.
I think either way, it's going to cost a ton. It's similar in prospect capital.
Yeah, but you get a year or 2 more, right?
Yes, but
we've already
a guy
seen
who only pitches 1 inning a night.
Right. We've been through that with Chapman.
How do you think Palencia deals with that? Handles that?
Probably not good.
I worry about that too.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying maybe Palencia needs to be in that trade.
Right.
And so does it take away from adding a guy like Mason Miller then some?
Right. I love Palencia.
I do too. And I want him to be the closer. But a guy like Mason Miller is hard to pass on.
Right.
So, all right. No, that's not what I want to do. Sorry. All right. I wanted to stop sharing there. I almost stopped the whole thing. My bad. Biggest surprise in a positive or negative way for the Cubs this year so far?
I have one for each.
Okay.
Ben Brown, positive.
He was
By
not
far.
as huge of a surprise for me.
Well, so it will be for most people though.
I agree.
But you knew the stuff was there, right? But the dude was putting it freaking together. Like that guy was hurling like
It was
top
awesome.
tier. Top tier.
And it just was devastating that he got hurt.
Yeah. Your heart fucking bleeds for the I'm sorry. Your heart bleeds for the guy. Like
Absolutely.
for real. On the other side of it, probably Mo.
Mo Baller?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that he's the biggest disappointment for me. I think that Nico is my biggest disappointment right now.
Yeah.
And what he's done. He was so good early.
Right.
And then he's just really tailed off. And I don't know if it is
Well,
him
so
getting
here's
hit.
why Mo is for me. Because Nico, the defense is there, right?
Agreed.
It's the offense. So Mo, his biggest thing is offense. Like that's what you're there for. Fair or unfair.
I would argue that he didn't get a fair shake.
Why so? Like the DHing?
Yeah, he was up and down. Like he wasn't starting consistently.
Yeah. And maybe.
It's hard for any player, let alone a young player, to do that.
Yeah, you look at Conforto.
Yeah.
Even.
It's very hard for anybody to do that.
Yeah. And Conforto's been around the block.
And they finally recognized it and sent his ass down.
Yeah.
So so I jumped a gun and went with Nico as my most disappointing player. My biggest surprise has been what Ryan Rollison has been able to do this year. I have really enjoyed watching him pitch and seeing the maturation for him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Who's your most disappointing player?
Well, I just went through that.
Oh, yeah.
When I did the double.
Okay.
Mo's
best
my...
starter.
Do what?
Best starter for you. Yeah. This is difficult.
Yeah.
I'm going Ben Brown.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't as much as you would want, but he was absolutely dominating in the starts.
Yeah.
And
it was just
nobody else
small
has come
sample.
close.
Yep. Yeah, and honestly, I think the only person that could rival that in any way, shape, or form would be Matthew Boyd.
I would argue Colin Ray.
Well, yeah. Colin Ray's such a damn roller coaster, though.
Yes and no. He's pretty consistent for the most part.
I like the Ben Brown pick, for sure. Like,
That's
he's been the most dominant.
Yeah. Best reliever. Also hard.
Yeah. Overall, like you want to go Palencia, but again, small sample. So but there's that argument for that. I like Webb a lot though too.
Jacob Webb is mine. I know it was a really, really rocky start, but he has been absolutely electric since then.
Yep.
and very consistent.
Right.
Most consistent player.
When you see Webb come into the game at this point, it's like,
You
okay,
feel
we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most consistent player, offense or defense, or position player or pitcher.
I mean, hell, even Pete went through a
Yeah.
rough patch, right? Okay. Here's a good one. Carson Kelly.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. He is. Like I said, any
He's
162
the David
games.
Ross of this team.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm just saying like light.
Mm,
As far as what he brings to it. Not necessarily because he hits better than David.
he does.
Yeah.
He calls a game just like David, though.
Yeah.
And so, Carson Kelly, like, he has his moments where, like, a 5-game streak of he didn't do much, but he's
Right.
always that guy behind the dish, and it's never more than 5 games.
He snaps back.
Yes. He is as consistent as anybody on this team this year so far.
Yep.
Now, if Pete continues to do what he doesn't have to do what he's done.
100%.
If Pete continues to perform as a star the rest of this year,
right,
minus those first 58 games, he'll be that
if
guy.
If he doesn't fall off like he did last year.
Yes.
Yep.
At the end, he'll be that guy. But the best position player not named Pete Crow-Armstrong, because obviously that's Pete Crow-Armstrong.
As a whole.
As a whole.
Again, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm half tempted to go back to Carson.
I don't dislike that.
Because I look back at, like, I see where Bregman's going, and I like that a lot.
So same.
I like what Sayal has done with as far as his defense coming around more. So I like that consistency too.
He's my best.
He was your pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not including Pete.
Right. So I think you can make an argument with. I think overall, outside of Carson's. You know what you get with Carson.
Yep.
And I think that's amazing. But to see Sayal's game grow the way it has
overall
on the defensive side of it,
yeah,
right, and not just be a DH, speaks volumes for what the work he's put in.
Agreed. As frustrating as he is to me at times, 100%.
Right.
I actually considered Dansby as well, but I just couldn't do it.
The way he's come on?
Yeah.
Because you know what you have with him defensively. Like, the dude's an animal. He's a dog.
I just couldn't do it because of his porous offense.
Right. I hope him swinging that stick carries over to the second half. If you can get Dansby Swanson hitting 230 to 250.
It's a tall task. I'm happy if he's hitting 210, 220. I'm ecstatic with that.
Yeah. But if you can hit him, if he gets 230, 250, I mean,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, probably not. But he's streaky, though, too.
The MVP of the team, 1, 2, 3, Pete Crow-Armstrong.
Yeah, 100%.
And I've got one more that I didn't put on here.
What's that?
What player needs to get going? Who is the most important player to get going?
Michael Busch.
Strong argument to be made. I think there's a strong argument to be made for 3 players.
Bregman,
Busch, and Nico.
Yeah.
At this point, Ian Happ is what he is. He's going to get hot. He's going to have
cold.
A 4 or 5 game skid where he just crushes the ball. and then he's going to have another 30 games where he sucks ass, and he's going to play solid defense and all that. So he is what he is, but I want to see him batting in the bottom third of the lineup consistently.
Sure.
But the only way that happens is if Nico, Bush, and Bregman get it going.
Pick it up.
Or at least two of the three. That's the only way that happens. If Ian Happ is still hitting in the middle of our lineup, enough guys are not hitting the way they need to.
Right.
Ian Happ should not be hitting in the middle of the lineup. Ian Happ's a fine ball player if he's hitting 7th or at the best 6th.
Sure.
He's fine in that spot then. But when Ian Happ is hitting 3, 4, and 5, he is not fine. He sucks.
It's a problem.
And he's terrible.
Yep.
But here's my thing is I think Ian Happ thinks he's owed to be hitting in those spots. At least against righties.
You think so?
I do. I think he's a very entitled player. And again, this could just be my bias. Because I obviously have a bias against the guy.
Yeah.
At this point. You know what I mean? I don't hate Ian Happ the way it seems like I do. But I don't think that he is worth what we pay him. And I don't think he is as good as what he's going to get paid for.
Sure. Well, and he's at a point in his career, he's not going to get better.
No, he's not. There's a guy that I listen to who is convinced he's going to go back. He's going to sign with the Reds in the offseason.
Okay.
And more power to them. He will hit more home runs there.
See ya.
He'll hit more home runs there. And he'll do it like, that's fine. But just go.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Twins. What do you think is going to happen with the Twins? Quick.
2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Yep.
I really want them to sweep. But I think it's because I really want Joe Ryan to become available because then he goes to the top of my list of guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think you're right. I think 2 out of 3 is very fair to expect, and I really hope that's going to happen. Thank you for watching and or listening to Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a 5-star review and or some comments on YouTube or any audio platform. Follow us on Facebook at Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy and on Twitter at dbutler79 or at Born Into the Ivy. Have a great day. Let's go Cubs.
Go Cubs, go!